Welcome, everybody. Steven Sitkowski here. Welcome to my Market Insights. It is October 27th. I'm coming off an awesome weekend. My kids came out. We had a long weekend together. We did every manner of thing that is scary. We saw two scary movies together. We did an escape room where there was this supposed possessed person in there trying to mess with us. You'll know it was not successful. If my head does a 360, it means they got me, but it was fantastic. Sitting out in the backyard around the fire pit, just telling stories and enjoying each other's company. Life does not get much better than that. Hope you had a fantastic weekend, your own self. So let's take a look at what in the world is going on. It is, like I said, October the 27th. Quick reminder that everything that we do here is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not intended as investment advice. So we should all be in a pretty good mood. Markets have hit a record high. Bum, ba-da-dum, bum, bum. Man, this has been the time to make money ever since Liberation Day, when the sky was falling and everything was wrong and the markets pulled back 15 to 20%. But since then, it's been like a rocket ship. The big question is, when are we going to have a pullback? I don't see a reason for a pullback, at least not right now. Seems like most of the vibe is really positive. 84% of S&P 500 companies that have reported have beaten their earnings. We've got interest rates forecasted to get cut again on the 29th in a couple of days. So, you will have the Fed comments. That'll be interesting. And we got a slew of earnings coming out, as I will share with you. But so far, so good. U.S. and China appear to be ready to make a deal, according to the president. So I guess they are getting together on Thursday. He thinks they walk away with an arrangement. They have a framework already in process, but that's always a moving target. Qualcomm jumps 18% on chip announcement. Apparently, they have a chip to rival NVIDIA and AMD, and yet NVIDIA and AMD stock is up. Wouldn't you think that would be potentially pulling market share from them? But Qualcomm, huge jump, not so much with their rivals. 10-year Treasury is steady, just a tick under 4%, which is great for stocks. And oil prices, they moved up a little bit. They were in the 50s. Now they're in the low 60s again, which is probably about where they ought to be. Market breadth last week, pretty darn good. So if we look at advancers versus decliners on the New York Stock Exchange, strong. And new highs compared to new lows for the last 52 weeks. Really impressive. Everything right now about this market represents strength. And here we are year to date. The Dow, the blue chippers, up 11%. The S&P 500, that's large cap, up 15%. The NASDAQ, tech heavy, up 20%. And it's been a license to print money. Percentage of stocks trading above their 50-day moving average, about 53% last week, 10 points less than that. The winners for the week, Ford. Ford? Yeah, I'm doing covered calls on Ford, so that was kind of nice. Up 12%, Coinbase, up 10%, Albemarle, IBM, always good to see them on the board, up about 8%, AMD, up nearly 8%, MCOR Group, 7.5%, Constellation Energy, there's nuclear, better than 6%, Micron, we've done a lot of trades on MU over the years. First Solar, up 5.5%, Vistra, there's another nuclear play, up 5%. Tech stocks they dominate market cap. So U.S. stock market cap as a share of global market cap, we're at like 36, 37%. And the tech share of equity sector, same deal. So don't bet against big tech. It's where all the earnings are. Last week's heat map, dominated by green. We don't see the real bright green, but I mean, there were some nice winners. Amazon up 5%, Apple 4%. There's AMD and Micron Technology, which we've already talked about. RTX, formerly Raytheon, up double digit. Market sentiment continues to puzzle me. So every week this comes out and they ask, you think the market's going up or down or sideways over the next 6 months? 37% said up, 43% said down. I don't get it. What are they looking at? Who are they listening to? If you're not bullish in this kind of a market, when do you get bullish? This week's earnings, we got some biggies coming out. Wednesday after the market, Meta, Microsoft, Alphabet, boom, boom, boom. Definitely could drive the market. You know, to a lesser extent, Visa will get sort of a take on the financial health of the consumer. And then after the market on Thursday, Amazon and Apple. So big, big week for earnings. So you've got that plus the Fed announcement. If all that goes well, plus potential deal with China, we could be headed higher still. Take a look at the charts. It's a thing of beauty. Check it out. Wow. Doesn't get any better than that. Yellow line is 50-day moving average. It's acted as a really nice level of support on several occasions for the last 6 months. We are well above the 50-day moving average. So for today, everything just feels fantastic. So we'll take it. By the way, I noticed, it's a little deviation, that the sweatshirt and my hair really work well together. That's the good news. The bad news is that my sweatshirt's gray. If it were black, it'd be even better news. Anyway, I hope you have a fantastic week. I'll be back with you next week. Till then, be safe, be blessed. Bye for now.